We are someplace new. I am driving around aimlessly, searching for thrift stores, because I'm someplace like new territory really, and so I'm looking in my GPS for thrift stores. And this is the Heart Center thrift store. I am parked in thrift store parking only. I think this is a center of some sort. I'm not familiar with it, but we're gonna go in and we're gonna seek permission to film. And if we acquire permission, we are going to see what they have. I'm kind of excited. I like new adventures. So let's go in and see what we can find and see what this adventure holds. Here we go. All right, so I just rang the bell at the main entrance, and she told me the thrift store is around the corner. So I'm like, wow, this is really high security for a thrift store. That was not the thrift store. The thrift store is this way. So we're approaching the thrift store, and hopefully there are no special bells to be you know what? It looks like there is a special bell. Oh, this is intense. This is an intense new experience. I don't know if I can handle this. Now, I was pretty impressed with how large and organized this thrift store was. And after doing a quick sweep, I decided that I would start in the very back corner. And the first aisle that I wandered into was the baskets. So they had a lot of different styles of baskets, laundry baskets, decorative baskets, pretty much any basket you could ever want. But this basket, not that one, this basket is the one that caught my eye because it looked to be a little bit older. It did have red bow geese painted on it as opposed to blue bow geese. But I decided that I really wasn't interested in that basket. I didn't see a whole lot of resale value there. There was another basket back here. It was hand painted, but it looked like a stencil. And so again, I didn't see a lot of resale value on that basket either. I liked this one, but it was very light. It didn't feel like it was a very quality basket. I'm not an expert on baskets by any means. I'm still learning them. I just didn't get good feels about it. So you can see all of the glassware is stacked very neatly here on the shelf. I liked the shape of these bowls, and they were heavy. I kind of expected them to be marked in some way, but there were no markings on them. This set of mugs here actually matched a bowl that I had found at the previous thrift store, so I was quite impressed with that because it was not a pattern that I had seen before, and to find a set of it at two separate thrift stores in one day was quite impressive. There were some milk glass bowls back there, but I didn't see a high resale value with those, unfortunately. Now, this aisle, as you can see, had a lot of figurines on it. And I noticed these two little doggy figurines down here, and they were only $1 a piece. And I figured I could make $8 to $12 a piece on them. And so I did decide to grab both of these little dog figurines. And then I spotted this. This is a persimmon Viking vase, and I absolutely love it. So, of course, it went into my cart. And as you know, I usually hoard my swung glass, but I will probably be listing this piece. And it was $1. I also found this, and this is from Portugal. It is a rooster, and I find a lot of these pieces, oftentimes they're made of wood and they're very colorfully painted. So I liked this pottery piece, and I liked the florals on it. And I believe it was $4, so it was a little bit more pricey than the other figurines, but it was nice and I did like it. And I love those pieces stylistically. Those roosters are very mid-century in their style. I checked this to see if it was petite chose. I see I pronounced it right this time, because I recently had a pair of candlesticks, and in researching, I found a lot of candlesticks similar to that one. And that bird just took a dive, but I fixed it. Do not worry. There you go. I thought that maybe this was a candlestick holder, but on the back you can see that it is intended for hanging. It is a decorative piece. I decided to move things around a little bit to see if I was missing anything. I found the praying hands though. I didn't miss those. Now I did find these 2 pillar candlesticks. I do believe that these are decorative candlestick holder things, and I loved the design of them. They're very large and they make a statement, but I really liked how they're colorful, and so I did decide to grab these and I stuck them in my cart. We've got some more Portuguese pottery here, and you can see there on the bottom it is made in Portugal. It's got some floral designs and kind of a basket weave. These pieces are great for decoration, and so I decided to grab that. I noticed this in the back, and so I did grab this, and my first thought was that it was Francoma. And so I was kind of turning it over. The glaze reminded me of Francoma, but you can see there's a foil sticker kind of peeking from underneath the other sticker. And I think that this is actually a made in China piece, and I didn't actually realize it until I was checking out. The price on this piece was not $15. That was whoever donated it had priced it at $15. The thrift store was only charging $2 for this. So I did decide to grab the shell for $2. Now there's some more glassware here on the end cap, and so I did browse through that quickly. There was a punch bowl set, a little bit of pink glass, and there were some plates, and I did like the design on these plates. When I turned them over, they were more modern than expected, and they actually had foil stickers on the bottom that said made in China. So that was a little surprising. I was not expecting that. They had a section of lamps, and you guys know I love lamps. And so I did decide to look through the lamp section to see what they had. And they had a lot of ginger jar style lamps. They were big, bulky lamps. And so there just weren't any lamps for me, unfortunately. But I did notice this vase. It was colorful. The bottom said Kay's Collection. And in my experience, Kay's Collection doesn't have a very high resale value. And so I did leave that behind. I mean, look at that giant ginger jar style lamp. And yes, I see the duck as well. I passed on that. There was a section of floral arrangements, and they had decent vases. And that's kind of what I was looking at. A lot of the times when I see these arrangements, I zero in on the vases and the vessels that the flower arrangements are inside of. So this was one of them. And the reason I liked this is because of the handles, the decorative handles that look like fruit. Now, all of these pieces, when I did look at the bottom, appeared to be more modern. That one looked like it may have had some age to it. And I liked this vase in the back as well. It was priced at $20, and I did look at the bottom of that one, and it had a Chinese character on the bottom. I loved that vase. And that's really all you get of the purses, is that right there. That's it. As I get closer to the register, I noticed they had a whole collectibles section. And so that's what I'm searching through now, is the collectibles section. They had these plates here, and they were paid in city China. I loved the shape of them. They made me think 1940s, 1950s, but they had a very interesting shape. I wasn't sure of the resale value at the time, and I did not bother to look them up, but I did pass on them. The golf cart was really neat, and it was made of wood. They had $15 on it, and the bottom did say that it was not a toy and that it was made in China. And so I did pass on that. Now, there was an entire collection of Boyd's Bears, both here and on the other side of the thrift store. And they're not something I'm very familiar with, so I didn't even really look at them. I don't know what the resale value on those are, but I come across them a lot, and I usually don't buy them for resale. This was an autograph puppy that was never used. And then there was some artwork. So I did kind of leaf through the artwork just to see what was there. This I found to be interesting. And the reason being that it reminded me of a cigar label. And I'm not even sure that's what it was. But Andrew had bought an entire lot of cigar labels last year. And I remember looking through them, and this reminded me of a cigar label. So I was kind of looking for a seam on the edge. I'm certain it was probably not a cigar label. I didn't see much original artwork there. And usually when I'm looking through artwork, I'm looking for original pieces. I'm not looking for prints, and I'm not looking for mass-produced pieces that you can buy at Target. You can see there are also some stuffed animals. Now, I finally made my way over to the front glass cases and decided to peek in and see what treasures were there. And I really liked this fish necklace. I also liked the unicorns. And the cat. Now, these are made by Windstone, and they sell for about $130 a piece. And the cat was $50, one of the unicorns was $35, and the other one was $25. So, of course, I bought those. I did not buy the Blue Willow plates. I did look through the necklaces there. And then I realized that in my haste to get through the store, I had actually skipped one of the aisles. So I went back to see if I had missed anything. And there was a whole shelf here of vases and pictures. I see some falsgraph there. My favorite. I don't hate falsgraph. I feel like I have to say that in every video. I did like this tea pitcher. It was marked for $8, and it wasn't a brand I was familiar with. This vase was nice. I kind of was judging it by the base and how unworn it was, and I don't think that it was a vintage piece, so I did leave that behind. Got some milk glass there. Now, I did find this creamer and sugar here, and this is Knowles. It was marked for $8 for the creamer and sugar. At the time, I thought it was just the sugar that was $8, and so I did pass on that set. in the back, I noticed this mug that I had missed my first time through, and I'm not really sure how I missed it. It's kind of hard to miss that. You could probably put a lot of coffee into that thing. I liked the wood on the tools back there. And now there's some pictures, and these are vintage, and so I did take a closer look. I suspect this is a Libby picture because I have seen glasses that match this, and I think that they're Libby. Not positive. There was an avocado green picture. That looked to be hand painted, and I thought at first it may have been a bowl, but I think it was actually a shade to a lamp. And down below there was a pile of trays. Now, the glass piece on the top I thought could be fused glass, and I usually look at fused glass because some fused glass can sell for good money, but this was a reversed painted piece, so it was not, in fact, fused glass. So I did leave that behind. You can see there are some metal trays there. I did kind of like that burger tray, but I didn't see much resale value. Now I did leaf through the clothes for a moment. You guys know I'm not a clothes reseller, but I decided to at least look through the clothes for a brief moment, just to give you an idea, because there were lots of clothes there. And like I said, this place was very organized. Now, these are the details for this thrift store. I do not believe they ship items, but I'm sure they would love a visit. All right, well, that was fun, and I'm definitely going to be stopping here again. We got some really great stuff today. I'm very excited about those figurines. I know the cat sells for upwards of $100, so I was more than willing to pay $50 for that. I'm not sure about the unicorns, so that's something that I'm going to have to look up. But I feel like we did really well today, and I did ask before I left what where the profits go, and they did tell me that it is for rehabilitation and training purposes for people with disabilities. So I think that is wonderful, and that's a great mission. And so if you are ever in the area and you want to stop by and do a little shopping, the profits go to a great cause. So there you go. And I think I'm going to get out of here now, and I'm going to move on to the next destination, but you guys are going to have to wait until tomorrow for that video. So I will see you all then. So long.